our next speaker. Her name is Rosie. She's right here. Rosie is a Hmong American storyteller, videographer, photographer. She's pretty much every ographer you could be. It's pretty impressive. She captures honest, soul-stirring moments through her freelance brand, By Rosie, and her work with a Christian nonprofit. She brings a warm, purposeful approach to visual storytelling. She is doing creative work at like every single medium possible, so I'm really excited for this talk, and I'm gonna turn it over to you if we're ready. I think we're ready. That's enough positivity for me to give you the mic.
Thank you. I'm just gonna connect this to my phone really quick. Just one moment. I'm almost there. Okay. Awesome. So, I want to start off with a question. What if I told you that a video of my aunt making tofu during COVID would show me what really matters in the stories that I tell? So, in the introduction, my name is Rosie. I'm a storyteller through videos, photos, and all of the little creative things in between. And for the past 3 years, I've worked with the Christian and Missionary Alliance, serving a global family of more than 6 million people. And these are some of the photos that I've taken. On the side, I also capture weddings, and I do portraits. I collaborate with businesses. And I also dive into passion projects, such as creating a podcast or, for fun, doing a t-shirt line. But today, I want to share with you guys the journey in between, a journey that I never expected to take. So I was born in Kansas City as a first-generation Hmong American. And if you don't know what Hmong people are, we're an indigenous group of Southeast refugees with no country to call home. So in my Christian household as a first-generation Hmong American daughter, there was a lot of pressure. Be good, do good, and succeed. But I was always drawn to the art and the creativity. It was how I expressed myself. Unlike math or science, there wasn't this pressure to just get it right. So along came YouTube, and I found my medium. I was obsessed with how people told stories through videos, and so I started making my own content, such as this video, and it gained a couple of traction. But it didn't feel like a real job. So I did what seemed responsible. I was planning to become a teacher and a missionary overseas. So I applied to Christian colleges across the country and I got accepted, but because math and science weren't my strength, I didn't get a lot of scholarships in that area. And to avoid a crushing debt, I ended up in the place where I did not want to be, which was community college. But I went and I graduated with my associate's degree. I went there for 2 years. And when it came to deciding my major and the next place of where I wanted to go, I had reflected on what I wanted to learn more of. And so growing up, I realized that I've always loved movies. They brought my family together. And so when it came to deciding what to study, I thought the film industry would be super fun to learn. And so I told my dad my plan. I'm gonna move to LA, I'm gonna study film. And he said no. He said be a dental hygienist, be a doctor, be a nurse, anything but going into the film industry. But I was paying my own way for college, and I knew that I wanted to follow my heart, not knowing that God had a plan for that. So I transferred over to the University of Missouri in Kansas City, and I studied communications with an emphasis on film, media, and journalism as well. And that's just a fun student video I did. And between a semester, I had the opportunity to stay with my cousins in Thailand, who were running a site for a short-term mission trip through the CNMA. And for the first time, I was filming and creating content for ministry work, such as this video. I didn't have any experience. They just took me on, I took my cameras, and I was just filming. And every day, my cousin would ask me to spend 1 hour with Jesus. At that time, I was like, wow, that's a really long time. Um, but I asked God the same question as I was walking in the streets of Bangkok. God, what is my calling? What are my giftings? And this was the first time that I realized that you could combine film and ministry together. And the pieces were starting to connect, but I just didn't see it and I didn't know it then. So when I returned from Thailand, I threw myself back into my studies. I went to the university and I skipped film history. I knew I only had 2 years there, so I dove straight into building a portfolio. I did film productions, and my goal was to graduate in 2 years and to show companies what I could do. This is also another student film that I did. And so the first lesson that God taught me was to embrace the unexpected doors that He opens and walk through them. And I really learned this as I was looking for an internship during college. I saw a wedding video company hiring for a graphic designer, and I applied thinking that my basic Photoshop skills would be enough. They were not. But lucky for me, they were actually looking for an intern. And so I was an editing intern for 2 years there while I was at college. And at first, I hated it. I hated editing. I wanted to be out on the field. I wanted to be with a camera. But I learned that through those years, I was able to work with Adobe Premiere, how to craft stories with music, working with other people's footage. And God was truly preparing me along the way. And from there, He just kept opening doors for me, from filming my friend's wedding to joining a cohort to create a film in 3 days with other Christian creatives. And I was truly enjoying this season that God was bringing me in. And that was until COVID. Wedding stopped, my job disappeared, I didn't even get to walk at my own graduation. And I thought maybe my dad was right. Maybe I should have become a dental hygienist. But instead of giving up, I decided to actively wait and trust in God's timing. During COVID, when there was no filmings of anything of some sort, I was pushing myself as a creative to just film whatever I could, honing my craft. And after countless job applications, I finally landed at Hallmark. And no, I wasn't editing their movies, although I did ask them. But it was more of their advertising department, anything on social media, on YouTube. And working there, it was truly amazing. It felt like Christmas every day. I worked there for about 6 months, but I felt like this is not where God wanted me to be at. And then finally, the position at the CNMA opened up, and I applied. And so before my interview, they asked me to send a video that represented me. So I sent them something completely unexpected, and it was a video of my aunt making tofu during COVID. So I'm gonna try to play this. What are you doing?
Chú tàu.
Tao.
Chú tàu á, tao nắng để thôi chú tao tàu để tao mới cho nó nắng nữa. Nó anh sa sọ á. Con mới cho con mới nó nắng nữa để con chú tao giờ tàu để sa sọ. Rồi nhà mới giàu sẽ là cái này thôi. Ai claim của hú rồi sẽ là cái.
Okay.
Thì cũng mới cho nó lóc và chia cho thông kinh nhau.
Okay.
Cha lại tàu băng đấy, nó là tàu băng đấy. Con cho人家。
So this video is not cinematic at all, and it's not professional, but it was real. And the reason why I picked it was because my cousin had told me that this video was precious to her, that it made her tear up. Because if her mom was to ever pass away, that this would be something that she could carry on with her forever. And so God's second lesson to me is that it's about the heart of the story and capturing the feeling. So I got the job and I moved to Ohio. I have no friends here, no family when I first came, so it truly was a faith-filled risk. And 3 weeks into my new job, they sent me to Africa. I was terrified. I barely knew my coworkers. I wasn't even sure if I was any good at this. But standing on the soccer field photographing the children here, I heard God clearly say to me that this is where I want you to be, and that you were made for a moment like this. And 2 years ago, I went back to Thailand to film my cousins again. And standing in the same place on the streets of where I had prayed 5 years ago, asking God, what is my calling? What is my gifting? I realized that God had answered that prayer in ways that I never imagined. And I'm just going to be showing the end of this video because it's quite long.
I'm seeing that he's raising up Thai nationals to serve the church, serve the community, and love their people. And so developing locals is a big part of where we're moving.
We're a product of mission, and it took Alliance missionaries that came out to us, to the Hmong people. And later on, my parents became Christians, and we were born into a Christian family. And so I look at these Thai people. If they're the first generation to have Jesus, that could change generations and hopefully a country.
I can't see myself doing anything else. We get to live every day for Jesus. We get to live our life sharing Jesus with people around us, and we get to invite our kids to be a part of it too.
Jesus is the most beautiful thing in my life. And he's changed my life. I can't just keep Jesus to myself knowing that they don't have Jesus. And so I'm willing to give up my life, my family, so that they might just have an opportunity to know Jesus and what he's done for them.
And so now my dad thinks that this is the coolest job I could ever have. Thank you. So God's third lesson to me was that he never forgets our dreams. He dreams for us, and it's even bigger than we could ever dream of for ourselves. And so I don't really think my gifting is about the technique of video or photos. I think it's more about making the people I film and take photos of feel seen and heard, and creating a connection between them and the audience. So when I film international workers or people overseas, I don't just capture footage, but my team and I, we sit down, we hear their hearts, and we spend time with the people that they love, and we start to love them as well. And we honor their stories and represent Jesus through our work. So I may not be teaching kids in a foreign country like I had originally planned, but the videos and photos I create will reach people I'll never meet with the message of hope that they desperately need, and inspire the next generation to go out into the harvest field. So creating this presentation reminded me of how far God has taken me. So now I want you guys to reflect in your own time and to think, how far have you come? How far has God taken you? And what dream is God preparing for you in unexpected ways? So the journey in between is really a reminder that through it all, God is continuously walking with us in it. Thank you.